Hello and welcome back to the 5th episode of the SaintsPrime Podcast. How are we all doing? It's me, OllIe.
Mikey.
Harry.
I'm seamless stuff.
I'm
normally start and...
Yeah, but Jamie's not here, so everything's...
Jamie's not here. I thought I'd mix it around and keep it fresh. Keep it fresh, keep it different, keep it cool.
Make sure everyone is staying awake.
Whose birthday is it today?
Mine.
No, it's Tizzard's.
I remembered.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Happy birthday, Tiz.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Exciting response. So we've got no Jamie today, but I'm sure we can do without. So what should we do first? Should we do some questions?
Should we do some Q&A questions?
So I shall pass it over to Tizzard, our resident Instagram.
So people sent over on the SaintsPrime.
SaintsPrime and SaintsPrime.
So
those questions in. Questions come in.
We get some good, solid questions. And obviously, transfer news, most of it. Where can you see Dejempo playing from Sam Shearer? Because he had lots of R's at the end of his name.
It'll be one of the cams if he goes 4-2-2-2.
Yeah. See, I don't really like 4-2-2-2.
Yeah, but Hasenhüttl does.
I know he does, and you've got to trust him. But I just don't. I think it. A lot of players have got to go because they don't fit that system.
We don't look solid with 4 at the back. I prefer us with 5 at the back. So if we played the 5 at the back system, you'd be on the other side than Redmond, and then
that's dangerous. Though having him and Redmond both on the wings. The wing backs would hate.
Dejempo, Redmond, and if Che Adams does go through, he'll be up front.
Yeah. Although I don't see there's not too much movement on that, is there? No. Apparently still negotiating.
Sort of stale out
because we're not paying £4 million.
£4 extra million.
£4 extra million. I think we've taken £4 million. It'll
go to another team.
That's what I meant.
Ben Poltz too. Do you reckon Musa would be a first choice? Is what he asks.
Everyone would get their own chance, wouldn't they? But I to be honest, I don't think he would probably be. He might be a Mane where it might take him a while to get into the first team. But I think it could definitely be one for the future.
It depends what system we play, because if we got 3 in the midfield, then Prowse would play central midfield. But I don't know if we do play 4-2-2-2, if Prowse would start on the right, like he had been doing.
But how wide is the 4-2-2-2?
The cams are supposed to be quite narrow, and the full-backs are supposed to be bombing on a lot.
Right, okay.
It's basically 4 central midfielders, but 2 of them more advanced and 2 of them defensive.
So do you have another defensive midfielder who drops when the 2 wing-backs go up?
Well, if it's the players that we got now, it would be Romeo and Højbjerg, the 2 holding, and then you'd have Prowse.
But I'd see Højbjerg going up, so would Romeo almost come in?
No, Højbjerg does well, but holding.
Yeah, but he gets up a pitch as well.
Oh yeah, I think
he's more box to box.
More box to box, and then Romeo's the one that tucks in like he always.
Yeah. Okay. And kind of makes almost like a makeshift 5 at that.
Yeah.
Well,
it almost makes a diamond at the back with the 2 centre backs and the CDM.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when we make these outlandish signings that we don't really know much about, YouTube, type him up. And from what I've seen from those really trusty clips, he's a sort of person that likes to cut inside, a bit like Redmond really. He's a favourite of cutting inside and trying to make those chances like that. Harry_Mitch_7 likely other transfer rumours, and let's just link that to our next segment.
Adrian Rabiot,
both in and out.
Yeah.
That's 18-1. Sky Bet have covered us for that. No, imagine.
It won't happen.
No, I don't even think there's any truth.
I think it all started with a unreliable French source, and I think that's not always the best for a transfer target, is it?
And unverified as well. So.
Mate, it's just a nice thing to think about.
Yeah, maybe.
It gives you hope, but Juventus will probably swoop in. We have touched on Dejempo, I think that's his name. And
I don't think the D's pronounced. I think it's just Dejempo.
This is a silent D. Dejempo.
Yeah. What's the point of it being there then?
The main point of this wasn't to question the spelling of his name.
French is stupid. That's the problem.
Yeah. Which language did you do?
French.
Anyway, what do you guys think of that signing? We've talked about where he's going to play. What do you think? Move, money-wise, quality of the player. What would you say?
It's a Southampton signing. That's what it is. It's £15 million. We don't go over 20. And young player hopefully will perform well, and then in 4 or 5 years he'll probably
move on.
be off to the top 6.
I think we do have a problem with our big signings not actually working, so maybe him just kind of going under the radar.
You remember when Newcastle bought in like 6 or 7 players who all played in the top of Ligue 1 and stuff like that? It was like the French Revolution in Newcastle. And they went down afterwards. Like they had Wijnaldum and stuff like that. They went down because they were just a bunch of mercenaries. And I think that's what was happening with us. I think Lamina's probably one of the perfect cases for it, where he started off well, and he's dropped in performance over the years because I think he thought he was going to get that move to the Arsenal or Liverpool or something like that.
Yeah. And with Djempo, or Djempo as you like to call him,
that's his name.
Statman,
it's not like I like to call him. That's his name.
Statman Dave, the statistician. 43% of Standard Liège's Europa League goals came from Mr. Moussa Djempo. So that's promising signs. He's got that Europa League experience, but Elianusi had Champions League experience, and he hasn't really shown.
Yeah, but Elianusi didn't really fit the league at the time, did he?
Yeah, I mean, I give everyone a chance still.
Right,
next one, Guido Carrillo. Leganes apparently want to loan him once again, but do you think we'll go out for another loan move, or would you rather just move him on instantly?
I'd rather keep him than loan him out again.
Yeah,
because we're wasting. He's definitely got talent, and that's an area that we probably will struggle with if we don't sign another striker this summer. It's an area we'll struggle with next season because we struggled for the last 2 years to score goals.
Yeah.
So just having another striker, another option, and also he brings something different to the table. Target man type thing.
So do you not think we'll bring someone else in? Do you think that Shea Adams sort of thing
I think Che Adams, if we don't hear anything about Che Adams in the next 2 weeks, I don't think that's happening. And then Augustin doesn't seem to be happening, and neither is that Mainz lad, because they said that they want. I think it was something like 35-40 million. And
that's their asking price, but.
No, but they've also said that they don't want to sell him, so it won't be anything less than 35 million.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one, Harrison Reed, Nottingham Forest seem to be wanting him. Do you think he's someone that we need to move? Not need to move on, but should move on.
I think if the chance is there, it might be worth having a look. I don't know if this is what we're going to cover later on, but I think Bertrand and Target, apparently one of them's on the way out because we have got youth behind them that also seem promising. I think both of them have been kind of uninspiring.
Yeah.
I mean, normally you'd like to think that those two would bounce off each other and try and increase competition, whereas I don't think either of them have kind of proved their position. It seems like Bertrand's a little bit complacent, Target's not quite as fiery to try and get that first team place, but I think it'd be quite interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah,
that might be the same.
I imagine Reed would go. Actually, I think one of Classy and Reed will go permanently.
Honestly, I forgot we had Classy.
One of those will go permanently. I imagine one will go loan.
Reed won't want to go out on loan again because I think he'll be his 3rd or 4th year in the Championship where he's gone out on loan. I'd like to see Reed given a chance because I think he would fit the system very well. And the problem is that we've got a lot of central midfielders at the club who are probably above him in the order.
Yeah.
So if we get a decent price for him, I would let him go. But like 8-9 million, hopefully.
Yeah. Right. So looking at let's just touch back on Ryan Bertrand and Matt Target. Which one of those two? Because I imagine one of them will go because we don't really need both of them. Which one do you think will go?
I think Target's got more interest, so I don't know if that's a factor.
Fulham, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, you got to say, I'd probably prefer Target for the future.
Yeah. I
mean, we've had a good service out of Ryan Bertrand, but how long do we want to keep him before we won't get anything for him?
Yeah.
And also, how interested does he actually look?
Yeah.
How
definitely.
interested is he at the club?
Yeah.
So even when he had his captaincy, even then he was a bit like, ugh. I don't mind him. It's just he doesn't seem that inspired figure that he first was when he came.
He's very on and off in performance, and that's the problem with both Bertrand and Target. One game they can seem like they could be an option for the rest of the season, and then the next game they'll just Target will struggle and Bertrand won't look bothered.
Yeah, I mean it's you have to kind of think you can't have a position where it's just constantly you haven't got that. Consistency.
Changing.
Yeah, like if you haven't got that consistency, your back four should normally halfway through the season, you should normally
30 games plus, they should be playing together. It should be that sort of...
Yeah, that connection. Because also you need to know the different... Like, you think with... I think any of the top 6, they've got a back 4 that they stick with, and they know each other, and they've played with each other for a decent amount of time. You just don't... If you keep chopping and changing it...
That's why Arsenal struggled a lot, because they don't
have that. They don't have... I know almost like most of the big teams have made a big purchase, which is almost consolidates that first team player, and then they can base it around them. Obviously, Liverpool's defence was amazing last season because they had that one big player that they knew was going to be consistently good, and then they could build around them or just give him the time. Because you think he still didn't look. He looked 9 out of 10 when he joined. Yeah, but then he got better and better as the season's gone on as well.
Yeah, it's good to see that Ralph wants to promote Vokins into more of a first team role as well, even though he won't get that many games. Yeah. I said last week I want to see it. Ralph obviously listens to the podcast. He hears what I says and quite thoroughly agree, and I don't blame him. Last one, El Ghazi. There's not really much to discuss about this because he's already gone to Aston Villa after making his loan move permanent. Apparently, according to some journalistic podcast somewhere, we made a bid, but us and Emerson made a bid, but he preferred to go to Aston Villa. That's all the transfers. Next section, what do you want to go with, Mess?
Well, I think you've had something a little bit pre-prepared, haven't you?
Pre-prepared.
Certain thing on the SaintsPrime?
SaintsPrime. I had the Southampton birthdays. Because it's my birthday, what I wanted to do, I wanted to ask you guys what your birthday or when your birthday was and have like a moment that happened in the past that was on like your birthday day. And,
how cute.
You know, I can't say I researched this myself. There was I think it's a book that's sold by Southampton called Away Days Like These or something like that. 2 of them had a moment for one of your birthdays. Jake.Young, 20th of September is your birthday. Happy birthday for them. And on your birthday, back in 1924, Cliff Price and Fred Price, uncle and nephew, both played in the same team. And Noah Routledge, 7th of April. The year was 1969. Bobby Stokes made a Southampton debut, which he netted a brace against Burnley in a 5-1 win. And obviously Stokes went on to make 216 appearances in the club in a 9-year stint, scoring the winner in a 1976 FA Cup final win.
Yeah. Also, one thing that's slightly annoying with birthdays and Saints, it's actually the first year that a Saints game's landed on my birthday this year, and I'm not going to be in the country, so I won't be able to watch it. Man United at home that I could have possibly been watching on my birthday, but not to be. But yeah. Any other things on birthdays at all?
No, we've done that one. That one's been done. Are we going to talk about the pre-transfer Premier League table predictions?
I haven't got my phone on there.
You haven't got your phone.
Wait, just cut it for a second.
So we should learn it by now.
Okay, so let's wait for Jamie to do our Premier League predictions. Should we go with that? We'll just leave it for next week till Jamie's back. If Jamie's back, so
if he
you can polish it for another week. Make sure you guys have been
here.
He
might be banished from the SaintsPrime Podcast.
Yeah, well, you never know. So yeah, we'll leave that for next week. Any particular things you want to go on to next time?
Southampton FC, they released their little moments of the decade quiz. We're going to do one, just us 3, and we'll see which one wins. So first one, Saints hit 8 past Sunderland or long Rocket Anfield in a cup semi-final. We'll go to OllIe first because I know Mikey.
Are we doing quick fire or are we doing explanation?
Oh, you can do whatever you want.
I'll just go.
Just have a little look. Say why, one and why.
Okay, what in one sentence?
Or just how many sentences you feel appropriate.
Okay. Well, I'll say long just because it sounds much better with the Titanic music on it. I think that 8 was brilliant, but it was a terrible team that we played against. Whereas
Virgini's goal was amazing.
I think it was the pretty. That cup final. I remember just going absolutely crazy, listening to Dave Merrington going crazy as well. Yeah. Everyone was just going crazy. I'd definitely say that one. Bateman.
Oh yeah, long goal.
Stupid question.
No doubt about it. I've watched that clip so many times over.
I think you're half the views on Instagram.
It's one of the I remember I came up because I couldn't listen to the game for some reason. I can't remember what it. And I came home, turned on the radio, and Jack Stevens had made his tackle on Sturridge or something like that. That didn't concede the penalty. It went out for a corner and a long rounder. Well, Sims ran down the other end and passed it to Long.
Yeah. Still Sim's best moment today. I'd say similar. You know, the 8 goals was good, but it was like like sort of every time we scored. Whereas like the long goal,
you cheered. Well done.
That long goal,
that's how crazy it gets in the fans.
The long was like woo, like it was much longer, much more animated. You know, from almost
that was much more animated.
Almost afraid to force some messing up, almost, but he recovered to make that massive save, and then obviously Shane smashing it in.
I don't want to be in the family stand if that's mad. That's too much for me. That is
crazy.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just
picnic blankets going everywhere.
You know, it's absolutely crazy. Survival of the fittest of the family stand, I must say. Survival of the fittest.
You might get trampled on.
Right, go on then.
Right, so Long's won that one.
Are you going to remember which one went through?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Next one.
That inspires confidence, doesn't it?
Martinez won the strike, the Arsenal, or Pella's acrobatic winner, the Queen's Park Rangers.
Oh,
I know mine.
What's
I think about it.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Kukos. Because he's now an icon for it. It's the only thing that he really did at the club, and that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Like Pella scored 30 odd goals for us, and he was an outstanding striker for us. But Kuko, and you love him for
I'd say
it.
it's a bigger occasion as well against Arsenal. Is it Boxing Day?
Boxing Day.
Yeah.
I think we're on a bad run of form before both pre and post that.
And that was down my end as well, whereas Palace was the other end. So seeing it being about a foot wide of the post and then spinning back round again was pretty nice.
Yeah, against, I wouldn't quite say prime Petr Cech, but against a good Arsenal team rather than a relegation-bound QPR one that Charlie Austin played for. But he did score, to be fair.
You going for Kuko as well?
Yeah, I'll go for Kuko. It was a fantastic goal. 4-0 against Arsenal, momentous occasion. That one is through. Easy one to remember because we all three of us said that one. Yeah. Next one.
And the last one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Both. That's what both means. Both means two.
No.
Right, next one. Mane's record-breaking hat-trick or Long's lightning start at Watford. Yeah. Which one's better? We'll go to Mikey first because he's obviously got his answer.
It's a tough one because I want to say Long's because we were there and it was incredible. But you can't beat Mane's hat-trick. You can't beat it because it was just insane.
Because you've done it 3 times as well, like with Shane Long. I'm not trying to cause offence to Mikey for that. It was one. Well, because probably the most
Shane Long is very touchy.
Just looking at the audio spike, you just hit at so high pitch, just didn't understand it. But yeah, but I think
anyway.
I think the goal from Shane Long was brilliant because it was quick for one goal, but Mane's just do it 3 times in a row. I think that's amazing.
I missed the first goal on the radio.
I saw it. On. Yeah, saw it put in. It was all 3 of them down my end against. Who was it against?
Villa.
So
6-1 win last game of the season.
Yeah.
And it was one from 35.
They had a standing keeper, didn't they? It wasn't
Shea Given.
Shea Given. That's what it was. Yeah. But
probably his last appearance in football.
Yeah, but hey, there we go. What a send off.
Yeah.
Same again. Is that unanimous?
6 at St Mary's.
I'd say so.
We agree so well, don't we?
They're 2 really.
I mean, the 3 that they had there, they're all quite. I say they're all quite obvious. Yeah.
I just really enjoy Long's lightning strike though, because obviously we were all there. 7.9 seconds went crazy, but 3 goals against probably one of my favourite players for our Saints shirt as well. Once again, I remember it. It's easy. 3 easy. Last one. Saints win the JPT in style or Gabbiadini's Wembley double. It's a bit more difficult in a way.
I'd say it's another easy. I'd say JPT because
you got silverware there.
We won it, and that was the start of the Liga Revolution where we just kept climbing.
Yeah.
Any arguments with that?
I know it's difficult because I definitely went more crazy for Gabbiadini's second goal, but it's also because I was much younger when we won the JPT, so it's not. I had less of a connection. But winning silverware at Wembley, packed out crowds. You've got to say that.
It was one of the first trophies to be lifted at Wembley, wasn't it? Because it was the FA Cup final and then that one.
The FA Cup final was at the old Wembley, wasn't it?
No, 2007 it was at Chelsea United, wasn't it? And it was at Wembley, and then I'm pretty sure. I'm certain of it, right?
Where was this?
To be fair, Mikey just goes.
When we won the FA Cup was.
No, shut up.
Yeah, no, he's talking about Chelsea v Arsenal. I don't know why he's gone off on this.
Chelsea versus Arsenal.
Some FA Cup finals sometime. I don't know what.
Are you talking about the Millennium Stadium when we went against Arsenal?
No.
We lost that.
Okay, what's the next one, Sis? We'll let him
right,
come back
because
if you hear a random stadium shout in a minute, we know who it is.
To make it easier, let's go back. So the two winners were.
Phones died, but I was right.
What was it? What were you?
No, the 2000s at work, because we won it. I don't care.
The two winners, Longs Rocket Anfield in the Cup semi-final, and Martinez Wonder Strike v Arsenal. Which one goes through to the semi-final of that side of the draw?
Wait, are we doing the other side?
No, we'll do this one first. So we get a finalist, and then we'll go to the other side. We'll get a finalist.
That's not how knockout competitions work, folks.
We give you control because it's your birthday, and we're giving you the benefit of the doubt, mate.
Right.
But
yeah, so Longs Rocket Anfield in semi-final, and Martinez Wonder goal.
I'd probably say Shane Longs again for occasion because it sent us to a final.
Yeah.
Whereas
Martinez was a bit. It wasn't 4-0. We would have won the game 3-0 anyway.
Yeah.
Mikey, what are you saying?
Yeah, Longs.
Yeah. I think so. That was we would have went through anyway, but that was a momentous occasion.
Yeah, but it sealed it, didn't it?
It was massive.
Whereas Martinez was good, but it only. I don't think the occasion was as
I
good.
can't remember hearing any Titanic music against Martinez's goal anyway. So if that judges how good.
Going off the way off his foot.
So that one goes through. Sorry, right. Next one. Mane's record-breaking hat-trick, or Saints win the JPT in style.
JPT today.
Trophies.
Trophy's trophy.
Yeah, I know Trophy's trophy.
You think without the JPT we wouldn't be able to get the record-breaking hat-trick? That's my thinking.
In what
way
does
that correlate to each other?
Because we wouldn't be.
Because Mane would have thought they would. He
saw the silverware.
He saw the
silverware when it signed.
Mane to Portsmouth now.
He said in an interview that he didn't really want to come to Saints, but as soon as he saw that Johnson Paint trophy in the
changed his.
I almost said filing cabinet then, but it might as well be, mightn't it?
Oh dear. So
right, go on then, Mike. What's yours?
So what's your conclusive sort of?
You said JPT.
JPT. What are you going to say?
Yeah, JPT. Yeah.
So your opinion is worth us, Harry.
Right, JPT. Why are you saying that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It was. Yeah. I mean, Papawego's good, isn't he? So.
I mean, sure. Yeah, I guess you could say that.
What's your answer? It does not matter.
It doesn't matter, like most of my opinions, but I'd say I'd say that it's
the truthful thing he's ever said.
It's at Wembley. We've won the JPT. It's massive.
Yep.
Lovely. Now I have to try and remember the two semi-final.
Well, there was Longs or the JPT.
Yeah. So you got Shane Longs. Wait. Was it Shane Long? Yeah, Shane Longs or the JPT.
I asked you if you're going to be able to keep counting.
I did. Yeah, I got your help, so that's fine. Yeah. Shane Long to get us to a final, or the JPT
to win a final.
JPT
again for me. You've won the silverware.
It's all about silverware.
Start of it, yeah. I think that is probably what's most important. You can talk about how that started off our rise up the leagues. It was a really nice occasion at Wembley. What else can you really want? Whereas I think it was a really nice way to go to a final. However, as a historic moment, I think the Johnson Pitt Trophy.
Only us will ever remember it's pointless in every other person's history of football, apart from the JPT.
That's a good point as well, because if you got a trophy in the trophy cabinet, but you can't just put a loop of the video in there.
Mate, I'll just put a photo of the ball going in.
Okay, Mikey, your one.
So I know we won silverware at the JPT. But I would say Longs was better because the JPT we scored after 15 minutes. After the first half, the game seemed over because we were better than Carlisle for the whole game, and it was sort of certain by a point. But Long's goal was just a moment, like you had tension for 93 minutes of the game, and then it was just all released in one moment. And I think that's the moment that would stand out for me because of the elation that we were going to Wembley.
Right, Tizzo, you've got the deciding opinion then.
I've got the casting vote. It's tight, like you said. That was a massive moment. We could also say the JPT. JPT was huge because, in a way, that it wasn't really a turning point because we were getting promoted anyway. But that was sort of, we've got like this physical.
Yeah, but I think it kept that morale and you've got that core of the team. I'm definitely not trying to sell my opinion more than.
No, I was going to say JPT because we won a trophy. We've got like that physical proof. It's about us getting that silverware, and that's the last bit of silverware we've actually won. Really, has any sort of meaning. So the JPT's in the final. Next,
so Mikey's opinion has been bested. Then basically, is that what we've come to the conclusion?
It normally does. Second side of the draw: Saints celebrate League One promotion, or Saints seal top flight return.
I was there, so I'm going to say Coventry when we beat them championship season because we were unstoppable.
Yeah, I'd say that.
We should have won the league. That's probably the most disappointing thing about it is that we did not win.
Who won the league?
Reading.
Oh, wait, West Ham?
West Ham came in the playoffs.
But
Reading won it because they beat us 3-1 at our place.
I remember because I had Reading fans behind us just cheering when they scored.
Yeah.
And my mum was not impressed. She was not happy.
Family stand was that right?
It was raucous.
Chairs were being ripped up from seats.
It was raucous. Yeah, I'd
flasks went flying.
I'd say that because it brought us to the promised land, the biggest league in world football, and we're still there now. So I guess that is the biggest moment of that size. Next one, landmark win at Old Trafford or survival.
Landmark win, which is that?
Tadic, the first one in 27 years.
Okay. Or the killing of the Swans last season, where Gabby.
I mean, you're going to get arrested for that, mate.
The Queen doesn't listen to this podcast. It's fine.
I think the Swansea one was more relief than it was kind of joy. I'm kind of basing this on overall happiness at that point. So I think probably United, because Swansea was really good, don't get me wrong, but I knew we should have been playing better than that, so it was almost like relief rather than happiness. Like, yes, I was obviously ecstatic.
Relief.
Sure. But I think I think the Man United one set more of a, I think I'm more of a kind of history books guy, and I think celebrating not getting relegated, I don't know, I think for me I wouldn't really celebrate that. I think I was just more relief. I had that kind of wave of feeling coming off me. Moment?
It was very difficult to enjoy Gabby's goal. It was incredibly difficult to enjoy it because at that point I was lying down on my bed shaking because it was only 1-0 and Swansea were pushing the final minutes and stuff like that. That game was so difficult to endure. But then the joy afterwards was better than the Man United game. I would go for the Swansea. I would go Swansea win because it was just so much elation at the end of that game.
Yeah, this time I'm going to be on your side and say the Swansea game because the thing is with that, when we scored, I didn't think, well, this is just a goal that means we're not crap. I thought this is massive. This is going to save us. I know we shouldn't really be celebrating not getting relegated after the previous season that we had, but it was just that sort of massive, and it did feel a bit like a turning point at that time. I know it wasn't because Mark Hughes didn't really do a great job coming into this season, but I didn't really think about why we were celebrating. It was just that massive goal, if you know what I mean.
I don't understand why people say that you shouldn't be celebrating staying up. Because it will happen if you will have seasons that you do really well and seasons that you do really poorly, and the bits that are joyful you should really celebrate and really go for. Because for my 2 seasons of season tickets, it's been appalling. So in the wins, I've celebrated massively because it's a win, and I don't understand why people, because it shouldn't be. It should be down to the occasion. It shouldn't be down to how we should be performing. It should be down to the occasion. It should be down to the joy that we are staying in the Premier League.
It should be down to the level of joy that comes out of you, rather than sort of Not really the meaning, because I do understand. I understand what Louis means.
Overthinking the moment.
Not Louis, OllIe means, but yeah. But that's right. Swansea is the winner for that one. Yeah. Next one, Osvaldo's magic moment versus Manchester City. I don't know how that's got into the last 16. Flipping out.
I think that was close.
Or Boufal's goal solo run against West Brom for a 1-0 victory. What we're saying for that one.
Which game was that in, the West Brom? Was that just a league game?
Yeah, that was the
final few minutes.
The dead one.
Yeah. See, that was a really good goal, but I think it's just because of that new signing feeling down the Northern. Now, you probably won't agree with me, but I think that Osvaldo goal has a special place in my heart, just because I know it's tainted by what happened afterwards.
Yeah, it's the
but
moment.
Just in that moment, which you define as the Swansea one, following that opinion, I think that was Osvaldo goal to cut. Was it Vincent Kompany 3 times?
Yeah,
and it was
Pantilimon.
Yeah, it wasn't only a lob. It was almost. It was a curled lob into the top corner against the biggest team in the league.
Yeah,
and this new guy has just completely done it, and that feeling of hope, that feeling of happiness, that kind of sense of, oh my god, this is actually happening, and then the machine gun celebration in front of all the Northern fans.
Very inappropriate. Mikey.
Oh, okay.
You just paused for like 2 seconds.
Why is that inappropriate?
Just inciting violence.
Anyway. I just thought that was so awesome. Like that moment is just amazing for me. And I know it got ruined very quickly, but overall, I just love that goal.
Anything else?
No, that's fine. Go on,
Mikey.
The Osvaldo goal is brilliant, but the Boufal goal also has a special place in my heart because me and my mum, we probably had a season ticket for about 10 games or something like that. It hadn't gone well. And then Boufal picks the ball up in his own half and tries to turn 3 West Brom players. Yeah. Me and my mum both say at the same time, what's he doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing? And he just runs up the other end. 2 West Brom players run into each other, and
that's crazy.
He tucks it home, and that's why Boufal's goal, I think, is it's just special.
Once again, I've got to say the Osvaldo goal was great, but it's been knocked out the tournament. I say the Boufal goal. It's just the way he picks up, and I could hear my mum from our house. I was at the game. I could hear from my mum from our house. Just be shouting, pass the ball, but he just sprinted. He's taken it past like 15 players at once, made 2 crash into each other. From outside the box, he's curled it low past Ben Foster in a 1-0 victory. We didn't even win the Manchester City game, so it didn't really make too much difference. But it was such a big moment in that season. If you think about it, we needed those 3 points to stay up as well. So I'd say the Boufal goal personally. Final one: late comeback stuns Liverpool, or Saints topple Inter in Europe. Silence beckons as their brains work.
We toppled Liverpool. What was the score for that one?
We were 2-0 down and we won 3-2. That's when Koeman sprinted down.
Versus Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Inter Milan, we couldn't qualify anyway at that point, could we?
No, we could.
We could. It's the Hapoel Beersheva bit that we messed up a bit.
That's difficult, that one.
Big Virgil van Dijk.
I might have a little bit of dead air, what we're all thinking. Because I think Liverpool was a very sweet victory, but Inter Milan gave us more hope for the future. What's
your thing? I'll start. I'd say the Inter Milan game was a very big win against a massive European side, but they're not the Inter Milan that they used to be. When we played against them, they weren't the Inter Milan that the name says, and they wouldn't even win they wouldn't have won the Premier League at that point, and we've beaten a team that would probably beat them in that. Actually, no, to be fair, that Liverpool side finished 8th that season, I think.
They had Dejan Lovren playing the centre back.
Yeah.
So that is a more difficult one, but I think it's due to the fact that we did come. I know we came from behind against Inter, but we came from 2-0 down. We won 3-2, and then that moment that Koeman just ran down the line, and I've not felt the stadium explode into life as much as it did when Mane tucked that ball home to make it 3-2.
Yeah.
Personally, so I'd say the Liverpool one, but the Inter Milan very close. It's much closer.
I think you've persuaded me, Harry. It must be your persuasive opinions, but I think I think that just with that history of Liverpool with Lovren and all those players, that at that point they seemed like, that was the place to go. So the fact that they could come to our turf and then not beat us that was very nice. So yeah, I think
it was a sweet moment, but I'd go for Inter because that's probably one of the biggest nights at St Mary's under the lights on a Thursday night. That was the moment that Van Dijk proved that he was one of the best centre backs in the world because he won us that game. There was no other. Like the rest of the squad, it didn't seem like that they'd turned up or something like that, and Van Dijk just pulled us through that game. And also was quite nice because I think when we got a penalty down the other end, the Inter Milan players were just being proper knobs.
Tadic missed the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, Tadic missed the penalty. Both games we missed penalties and still managed to win.
Yeah, there we go. Right,
let's go back up the list. Certainly, that opinion it's valid, but it doesn't really matter because we already said
valid but invalid.
So late comeback stars Liverpool against Boufal's solo goal. What are you going to say for that one?
I'll go Liverpool because it's a sweet moment. And
the Liverpool game was 90 minutes of pure action, whereas the West Brom game was 85 minutes of absolutely
hit the crossbar once.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, not much happened in that game.
Whereas you're always on the edge of your seat against Liverpool. So what are you two saying?
I said Liverpool.
Liverpool didn't say that to us. Come on, mate.
I'm sorry. Liverpool through, or the Liverpool moment was through. Next one, or the second one, it was survival against Swansea or Saints Seal top flight return.
Top flight.
That one was getting into it. Sure, yeah. Because the other one was getting into the Premier League, whereas the other one was just staying in. It was a bit. In that way, I do agree with you in the fact that it was just about staying in rather than we didn't achieve. It wasn't all building up to that one moment. We lost games to get into that moment where we had to win. So yeah, I'd say that as well. So that final one, Saint Seal top flight return against late comeback that stunned Liverpool. What are you going to say for that one?
Promotion, I'd say.
Mikey, what are you thinking?
Harry, any thoughts?
I can just
check for a pulse.
Okay.
I've got my Fitbit on. It's 66.
It's 66.
Okay. Still alive.
I mean, you speaking probably would have showed you it's still alive anyway.
Cheers,
anyway,
just ruining the enjoyment.
That's me, to be fair. Saint Seal top flight return. I'd say that because once again it was the culmination of the entire season building up to that moment where we beat Coventry 4-0, and then we had all those classic cult hero players playing in that game, and that got us into the Premier League.
Your boy Steve Derrida. No, Steve is good.
Steve.
Billy Sharp.
Sharp.
All that.
Mike, you come to a decision?
Yeah. Promotion.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So
you go for promotion. Yeah, sure. So promotion to the Premier League against the JPT winning final.
This is the final.
What's going to be the winner of the final?
I mean, you can. Oh, okay.
It's a big call. It's a big call.
Both turning points, aren't they? I'd probably say promotion to the top league because JPT, although I backed it a lot on the other side, like you said, we had already been promoted, and it did create a good core. But I think finally to get up to the Premier League again, is probably one of the best moments. I think just that.
I'll say promotion because I was there, and that was brilliant. Like just the celebrations afterwards, going on the pitch, all the players up on the balcony, singing songs and stuff like that. That was
special.
Sick.
Yeah, I'd say that also. Promotion to Premier League, massive. And it's not just that. It's just it was a turning point because that's when you had the finances flooding in, and then everything from that point. It didn't change massively, but you could feel something building. And whereas the JPT, there was still such a long way to go until we reached the end target. So
you don't get many moments to celebrate promotions and stuff like that. You don't get many moments like that where there's so much joy around the club. And I think that's JPT was a lot of joy because we had such a dark period, and to have a trophy from that is brilliant. But just the elation that you felt going back to a Premier League, that was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So we've decided there you go. Winner is The promotion to the Premier League. Awesome.
League. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up the show with the Saints players that used to play for us or managers that used to play for us?
Okay. I don't really think so. No, that was. Anything like no? So move on to ex-Saints. Anything happening really?
Juanmi's got to move to Real Betis. That's about. That's as much as I think.
Yeah.
Solid player he was for us.
Yeah.
Fonte got put in team of season.
Team of season for the league, and Leo got to the Champions League, so I like that because he's going to get as long as he doesn't get sold.
Yeah.
He's going to get the European football that he never got with us.
He's going to get Champions League, isn't he? He's going to get that next level. So
he also won the Nations League too.
Nations League winner. I didn't really mind. I didn't really care after we lost. That was.
What do you mean? Jordan Pickford's penalty was.
Oh, to be fair.
Yeah,
off topic. That
was lovely.
That was brilliant.
I'm surprised he used the side of his foot though. I thought he'd used the.
Well,
mate, if you can put penalties away like that, you do the exact same.
He's a very technical player. Like you forget the fact that Pickford's more of an outfield player in goal.
Yeah.
He's not very tall though.
No.
Yeah, Jan Sommer and Pickford, and they both look like 6 foot.
Yeah.
Had some players on international duty as well. So Jan Bednarek, I think Poland haven't conceded in their qualifiers when he's been playing.
Yeah, I think they're the only team now in Europe to not concede in qualification.
Mm-hmm.
Højbjerg scored for Denmark against Ireland, or was it Northern Ireland?
Good run as well. It was one of the it was like Lampard late run into the box and a superb header.
Yeah. Sadly, that didn't win the game. What else was there? We had other players. Elianuzi's cousin scored for Norway.
Lovely.
Wow, that's very loose links, isn't it?
It's still
really tedious.
It's happened.
Shane Long's still injured. Can't play for Ireland.
And Angus Gunn is about to start to play for the England under 21s.
So he's going to sit on the bench for the under 21s.
I think he'll switch with Dean Henderson.
No, Dean Henderson's the starter.
Gunn's that is controversial.
Yeah,
I must say.
No, it is.
No, it doesn't mean it's not controversial. It could be a fact, but it's still controversial. Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's not controversial.
But it is.
But if it's a fact, then it's not really controversial, is it?
Well, people say that. I'm not going to get into it. It's controversial. It's controversial.
I don't think it's that controversial because I think
Dean Henderson played in the Championship.
Yeah, but Dean Henderson got promoted.
Yeah,
he's a good goalkeeper.
Right? Ben Foster should be the England first team goalkeeper.
In the under 21s?
No, I was going off tangent here.
Yeah, that's the opinion of Harry Tazar.
Pickford's good enough.
Yeah, Pickford. If you can pull off, say, he was putting penalties like that, and if you got to keep your World Cup team, haven't you?
Yeah.
And yeah, same thing with the under 21s. You've got to try and keep your base. He's been in the base so far. I don't see why they change it. I don't see that's very controversial.
I mean, my opinion is just different.
Do you want to? Should we leave it at that then? Should we
go for it?
Okay.
I can't. Any other news?
Not really. It's been a bit of a dry week, really.
Yeah.
Apart from that, so shall we just wrap it up there? So I've been OllIe.
Harry.
Mikey.
No Jamie today, but
he might return next week. He
might be next week. We might do our predictions next week for the league
if Mikey remembers to bring.
But
what the hell?
In the meantime,
I said I got it sorted. All right.
I
said I got it sorted, and he didn't want to do it because Jamie's not here.
Jamie's not here. Well, we'll be all inclusive. But in the meantime, you can still like the video. You can still subscribe. You can still put the notification bell on. Of course you can. You can click it.
Follow on Insta.
There's now, follow on Instagram, SaintsPrime. They've got questions that we'll do before the podcast. There's now a playlist of all the previous podcasts as well. So if you want to have a nice binge of all the podcasts available there,
you can cope with that.
And there's one where you can see all of us as well.
Yes, episode 3 is on video, so if you want to watch that, you want to see what our ugly mugs look like, then you can do that on on video 3. But yeah, like, subscribe. We've got Twitter, we've got Instagram. Instagram's the questions, but we've got every social, so you can find us on there.
Socials everywhere.
So we'll see you later. Goodbye.